Hey guys, Marcel here. Welcome back to my kitchen. Guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a vintage pumpkin upside down cake. I say this is a vintage dessert because I actually came across this recipe for pumpkin upside down cake in an old binder of really old recipe clippings, an old binder that was passed down to me. And then I looked at it and then I researched it on the web just to see where it had been posted before. And this dessert has been rebranded and it's out there on the web, otherwise known as pumpkin dump cake and pumpkin cobbler. But however you want to call it, it's delicious and definitely worth sharing here on the channel for anybody in my community who has never tried this before, or anybody who's suffering from pumpkin pie burnout, still wants to get a little of a baked pumpkin dessert on their table. This is a newfangled way from a vintage recipe to try it. It's delicious. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn you around and show you what we need to put this together, and we're gonna jump right into it. Okay guys, so for this old-fashioned, delicious pumpkin upside down cake, here are the ingredients we're gonna be using today to put this together. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the cake mix. This is just a regular yellow cake mix. I have also used white cake mix when that's been what I have on hand, and it makes no difference. It's use a yellow or white cake mix. 2 cans pumpkin puree. It's a 15-ounce cans. Gonna need a can of evaporated milk, 12 ounces. Here I have 3/4 cup of light brown sugar, 1/2 cup of regular white sugar, and this is 3/4 cup of pecan pieces, you know, the cookie pieces, 3/4 cup of salted butter, which we're going to melt and cool slightly, 3 large eggs. This is a homemade pumpkin pie spice blend. I need to make some more. But we will need 2 teaspoons of a pumpkin pie spice blend. If you guys want to see how I do this, just leave me a comment below and I'll put together a short video on how I make my pumpkin pie spice blend. And just a regular teaspoon of cinnamon, or a teaspoon of regular cinnamon rather. So that's all the ingredients. But I just want to mention that I do have a full picture tutorial on my blog on how to make homemade pumpkin puree. If you want to sub in homemade pumpkin puree for this in the same amount, it'd be, you know, about 30 ounces, probably about 4.5 cups. I've had it on my blog for a really long time, but I have a video coming out on homemade pumpkin puree this month. But in the meantime, I'll link that below if you wanted to go check that out, that tutorial on how to make homemade pumpkin puree. But for this recipe, I also have a 13 by 9 inch pan out. I'm gonna grease it with some nonstick spray, and my oven is preheating at 350 degrees. All right, let's get started. All right guys, so we are gonna add our prepared pumpkin filling here into our prepared pan. So I'm just gonna pour it in, and then we'll spread it out as evenly as we can. I'm gonna switch positions here. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. All right, so just gonna spread it down, you know, just so it looks pretty even. All right. All right, guys, so now I've cut a big opening on the side of this cake mix package here, and we're just gonna go over the top and, you know, as evenly as possible, and of course we'll adjust it with a spoon. You know, go ahead and spread this cake mix out. Sorry, I'm hungry. Over the top. Okay, so now I have that stick and a half of salted butter that's been melted. And so now we're just gonna drizzle over the top. But we are gonna work this in to the cake mix. So, all right, so there's that. So now I don't wanna dig all the way down to that pumpkin filling, but you wanna move this around so that at least the top of this cake mix is, you know, is moistened, is wet. All right, so I'm gonna take a minute and work this in, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, well here is this amazing pumpkin upside down cake right out of the oven. It smells so heavenly in my house right now. But I gotta tell you, I did have a little bit of a technical issue. You guys saw me get the cake ready for the oven, and I thought I was recording after that, but I was not. So I worked that butter into the cake mix on top, then I put the cake in the oven for 40 minutes, brought it back out, sprinkled it with these chopped pecans, and then I put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes until it was nice and golden brown like you see here. But anyhow guys, it smells amazing in here. This cake needs to cool down. It is hot like lava, but I'm gonna cut a slice as soon as I can and enjoy. Okay guys, well that is the delicious old-fashioned recipe for this pumpkin upside down cake. I do hope you give this a try. Of course I'm sharing this now because, you know, Thanksgiving is coming and pumpkin pie is, you know, in the air this month. But truthfully, I made one of these. I posted this on my blog in September of 2021. So it's relatively new addition to, you know, my collection of recipes, but I actually made one of these this past July because I got a craving for it. It was so good. And so anyhow, it has to cool way down before you cut it, guys. Let it cool completely. Otherwise that pumpkin filling will be like lava and it really won't have any structure. So here is a giant piece for me. And it's still warm on the bottom. But anyhow, guys, I hope you give this recipe a try, or I hope you share it with anybody who might enjoy it. And as always, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. Stay safe out there, stay warm, and I will see you real soon in the next video.